just don't want. I just want to make sure there's nothing on the screen that's private, which there wasn't. There shouldn't have been, but I'm just making sure. Alrighty. I'm gonna try to make this one short. My idea is to. That's not right. My idea is. Let me see if I can. My idea is to make a completely randomly generated. All right. Completely randomly generated train. So here we go. Click to spin. What locomotive? Oh crap, did not save. Apply wheel changes. Forgot I gotta do that crap. There we go. Alright, so I'll spin it again. SW9, alrighty. What about this one? Please no trash flats. 52-foot gondolas. How many cars? 7. Alright, we got 7 cars, 52-foot gondolas, the SW9. Now I'm gonna do a little upgrade. Is it okay if I MU another, if I have 2 engines? Alright, thank you. $86. Let's see. Let's see what the second engine will be. Another SW9. Alrighty. So in total, we don't have too much power. I forget how much horsepower this has. Somebody's gonna argue with me if I leave these. Somebody's gonna argue with me if I leave these to both be 4217. So actually, I'm not gonna use the second one because I don't feel like changing the numbers. I don't want to feel like, you know, having to. Do not go to SW9. All right, we got SW900. So I want to show y'all this. All right, I want to show y'all this. This is pretty cool. I've never seen anybody do it. Alpha said it was kind of interesting. Yeah. So now he hasn't seen this one. He hasn't seen this version. I have to redo these little. I have to upload these again so that way the doors work. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't just work on their own, but they do. They don't. So, all right. So here's the two engines, and let me just show y'all around. I'm gonna go ahead and open up. What the heck? Why is this not parented? No, it is. Oh, the 9 has 2 smokestacks on it. And the second one didn't load, I bet. Nope. Oh, I know why. Because I messed up. I have to spawn down another 9. I don't have very long for this stream. Did that not work? I'm just spawning it down over here just for a second. Just to copy out this one E2. Which it says is an SW7, but it is not, I can promise. There we go. Okay, so now they got the 9 and the 900 there. Let me just use the... This is pretty cool here. How these little MU plugs work. You press E on this one. Then you press E on the other one. It creates a link. And there's usually a rope going out of it, but I don't know if it's like too sharp of a turn or something. Or whatever. But yeah. Alright, so... What I'm gonna do... Actually, let me freeze these. Just makes it a little bit easier. Alright. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up the doors. 1, 2. So I'm gonna start this engine first. Now go in depth on how this engine gets started. I'll open up these doors as well. You know, actually here, so you can see the E2 thing. I'll open that one up as well. Oh, it didn't open. Alright. So usually there's a battery panel here, but you can't see that because FC&N doesn't have it. So you can see the button. So if I turn it on, you can hear it. You can watch the pressure gauge go up. Alright, so how it works is it goes up to 120. So when the power is applied, the compressor turns on for this extra air tank. This extra air tank does the air accessories, not the brakes. These are for the brakes. But how it works is this gauge shows the air pressure in it, and the cool bit about it is it does output brake info array, which is really cool. But it only outputs for the main reservoir, not the equalizer. So yeah. So now, as you can see here, we've got 100 something PSI, probably about 112, 13 maybe. And so what it first does is if the pressure is less than 70 PSI, it'll go up to 120, and it'll kick off at 120, and it'll go back down. And once it reaches about 70, it goes back up. So it's kind of like a real air compressor. Now, you can hear the air dry, or I guess it's a poppet valve, I believe is what it's called. I don't know. So when that cuts on at about 30 PSI, at 15 PSI is when the windshield wipers will work, but this one doesn't. This locomotive, none of my locomotives from this, none of the UCRR locomotives that I know of that I've built have windshield wipers on them, but I have made windshield wipers that are pneumatic powered. So at 30 miles per hour, 30 miles. At 30 PSI, the bell starts working. So, and I'll show you that I'm not lying. And now the horn works. But the horn starts working at 75 PSI. So yeah. So this one doesn't have any air in the tank yet. So if I press space, you see the bell valve turns on, but the bell isn't going. If I press R and pull down the horn lever. God, I can't talk. Lever. No horn. It's because we don't have any air pressure. And as you can hear, this one's not spitting. So let me open up the doors. And I'll turn on the battery so you can watch the thing go up. So you can see it's down at 0. So if I come in here, you can watch it go up. Now the bell works. Now the horn works. And now it should stop right about now. There it goes. And now you can hear they're both spitting. Alright. Now these are the master switches. That one's going to be in slave. This one's the master. So I'll go ahead and turn on the master switch on this one. So yeah. So now the next cool thing I've added to these. Let me turn on the number board lights. Now they're really spitting, aren't they? Alright, so now the second cool thing I've added is the cylinder valves. Which, do they not have S-props? Or maybe S-props just doesn't load in, but the cylinder valves are here, as you can see. So if I push E on them, this one's actually an 8-cylinder. The 900 is an 8-cylinder. I think there's 2 of them that are 8 cylinders. So yeah. So I gotta open up all these valves, and I don't think the E2 works properly. Oh, did I not? I must not have parented those. Alright. I'll just have to get rid of them real quick. They're not really needed. They just look better than the stock thing. Got a text message. Alright. So, yeah. So now all those are open. I know it should be turning to the left, not the right when it animates up, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. Now, this one doesn't work correctly on FC&N for some reason. They don't work correctly on FC&N, whereas the sound keeps going. So I'm not really sure why the sound keeps going after, even though it's already blown out. So you just have to refresh the E2 once you started up the engine. So if I press E, it's doing the cylinder thing. And see how it started over again? So now you have to close back all the valves. Ignore the sound. It works regularly on TS200 and BNR. So I don't know what it does on here, but now you can press E. And usually there's a thing that says fuel prime and stuff on it, but they don't have jazz lock 1.1 on here, so it doesn't have that texture. If I hold E, now it's in the fuel prime position. You can hear it priming. Now it's in the start engine position. Another thing is I've already made a new version of this air tank system that actually, like, the horn, whenever you turn on the horn, it actually uses up air pressure. So that way it uses up a little bit more air pressure and you don't have as much air left. So yeah. And the bell does too. And I've really been wanting to make something that not only makes the air pressure have a level, but the sanders have a certain amount of sand in them, and the gas, and it actually has gas tanks and stuff that actually work. And I tried doing the gas tank thing a long time ago, but yeah. So yeah. So now, as you can hear, it's all started up. I will shut the door of the second engine. And I'll start up the first engine. So again, open up all these. Alright, so they're now all on. I'll go ahead and start it and blow it out. Can't tell if it's... There it goes. I don't get why this one ain't working. Oh, I must have turned it off on accident. And see, if it's off, it can still leak. So this thing leaks air. Every 5 seconds it leaks out 1 PSI, which I don't know if that's accurate or what, but it sounds accurate. So yeah, it goes down, and if there's no if the battery switch ain't on, it'll keep going down until it reaches 0. So now you can hear it blows over. And yes, I still have to refresh the E2 on the other one. So I'll do that next. Alright, so now it's blowed out. As you can see, it says 1 in the chat. That was a debug thing and I never got rid of it, but it really helps. So I'm just going to leave it there. I don't really care if it says that in the chat. Well, it only says it to me. So, yeah. Alright. So now, go ahead and start the engine. You hear it priming. Now it's going to go into the starting position about now. Alright. So now it's on, as you can see the starting smoke. So now I'm going to go ahead and refresh that one E2 here. Gotta refresh that one and that one. Alright, so now we're good. And as you can see, once I close these doors here. Is the other side still open? Yes. Alright, so if I show you here, if I turn on the sanders, for example, the sanders turn on the other one, as you can see. Or if I release the brakes, surely, well, actually, they're already released on this one, I believe. But if I change the reverser, and if I, change the notch, and even the load meter in here moves. See? Alright. So as you can see how it all works, I'll go ahead and whatchamacallit. Alright. We'll go ahead, head forward. 7 car. Actually, let me make sure everything's alright. Oh yeah, you gotta hold Shift S because these actually. This actually uses the 26-liter air braking system, so yeah. It's kind of hard to get used to, but there we are. So I'll go ahead and get out the Mets GSG rolling stock spawner thing. And I'll go ahead. We're doing 7 cars. And what was the thing it was? Did it decide? 2 50-foot. Alright, so 7 52-foot gondolas. And I'll say loaded because it's not fun to have an empty one. Or to have an empty load. So I'll go spawn fit 2 1 7. Alright. 1 2 3 4 5. Alright. Whoops. Alright, so now if I release it, just bring it right about there. Now, rope mass center. Boop, boop. Just to make sure everything looks fine, I'm gonna go ahead and add the end of train device now. I have nicer end of train devices, but this one always works fine. And it's not as complicated as the other ones. So yeah. As long as it works, that's all I care about. So yeah, just use your crowbar. Now I actually made a little brake. I might show that before we depart here. I made a little brake valve thing. Is this it? No. Maybe. I think it might be this. No. That. I couldn't remember what it was called for a second. And it looks kind of weird, and that's because it is. I didn't do the front very well. So yeah. But as you can see, if I'm going to remake it in the future maybe. But if I press E on it, Yeah, it's just a little brake valve basically, and it has a brake info in and a brake info out. So if it's closed, it doesn't. It doesn't. It basically sets the brake info out array to be 0 for the main air, whatever it is, and the other one, and if it's open, it sets it to whatever value the input is. So yeah. All right. So now everything's unfrozen. We'll go ahead and depart. Does it not save your title? Alright, that's not. It's title 89 217 118. Alright, here we go. Is it frozen? No. Oh, yeah, brakes. I didn't. At least the brakes were open. Was it? Why does it sound like my brakes are still on? I've never ran with 26 cylinder brakes. So I don't know. Or 26L brakes. I don't think they're on anymore. So yeah. Ooh. I was about to enable my dynamic brakes, but I don't have any because that was unprototypical. Just want to slow down a little bit. I believe this is the concrete plant. I do quite like this area. Also really like the Card Valley map. That's a good map. Seems like we're hauling scrap metal. I'm not sure where we're hauling it. Negative 50 hours to go. If I recall, there are a few signals on the map, and at that you really don't need to pay attention to them because they don't really change or work very well. Full on notch 8, no speedometer. Hear that AB notching system? Alright. Hold on. Alright, people. I'm gonna have to go here in a minute. So, this has been a short stream, but I just kind of really I really actually wanted to show y'all that front bit. So, yeah. Alright, guys, I gotta go.